Welcome back to the channel. I just want to take a few minutes. We're going to talk about the Supernote beta update that just came out. I want to talk about the cool new features that are in the beta. Now remember, it is a beta. You just go to the feedback tool and you send them an email and say you'd like to register your device. And that's a really good way not only to be involved with the development of the platform, but also just to be really intentional about how you're using the device, because the more they hear and the more that they can respond and the more you share, the more intentional they will be in the design elements. But anyway, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump over and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here we are, and you'll see I'm throwing a little bit of a joke at my buddy Rod. During his recent live stream, he was talking about the stickers and he was talking about that, wait a minute, these are just icons. And he immediately corrected that. But while I was watching that over lunch, I sent him an email with the stickers with a little bit of writing in them and said, this is not an icon, it's a sticker. So just thought that you might find that a little bit amusing. It was a nice inside joke between the two of us. But let's go ahead and get rid of these. And I want to talk about the stickers, because this is something that Rada had mentioned to me in an email exchange, and I really didn't get it either. I was kind of thinking, oh, it'll be an icon pack. And I really didn't know where they were headed with this. And what they've done is kind of amazing in a lot of ways, at least to me. Now, maybe it's not for everybody, and I think it's going to be more important if you bullet journal, which I don't do, but at the same time, there's a lot of functionality here. If you look here, you'll see there's this new icon on the toolbar, and this is your sticker icon. If you press the sticker icon, you're going to go to the sticker page, and then you get recently used, built-in stickers. You can search your stickers, and then you can have custom stickers. But for the built-in stickers, they give you a large selection. This isn't just a few. This is a lot of different options. Again, I tend to do a lot more of my work. No, I'm not the most artistic person, but at the same time, I can really see the value in these for a couple of reasons. So let's go and let's say you want to create a folder. And so you pick this sticker. Now that sticker comes in. And the cool thing is now I can take and I can make that sticker bigger. So this is a file folder. So we brought in the file folder and say we want to rename this. What's really cool about it is you take that off. Now that isn't an image. It's actually just a set of lines. And it becomes completely usable and customizable as if you wrote it or you drew it. Let's say I wanted to name this Tuesday. So I just go ahead to my pen and I write Tuesday. If I want to select that, what I can do here and what is unique is this can now become a link. This can now become a keyword. This can now become a heading. I can copy it. I can actually save it as an event, and I can save it as a task or a to-do. So I can link to this icon. What's even more kind of neat to me is that I can create a custom icon. So now not only do you get that pack that they give you, which is really good for those of us who are not artists, but you can put your own spin on it. You can put your own take on it. You can add things in, and you can customize an already built ecosystem to be able to do different things. You can create your own custom task list, and you can actually take those to-do items and tag them, the whole thing. So it'll take you to that task list. You could create a homepage with iconography. I mean, they can be used as icons, but power is they're also links. So you could create a custom homepage with all of these different images and then link out anywhere you wanted to go. And you can do it by keyword. Well, let's say I wanted to name this as a keyword. I would circle it, and then I would say, let's make it a keyword. It gives me an option. It recognized the word that was in there, but if there was no word in there because it was just the graphical representation or just the lines, I could make up any name I want. Well, I want this to be called Tuesday, so I can now add that. And now that becomes a keyword and keyword searchable. And when I go to my search, and let's go down and let's go to global search, and then we're going to go to keyword. We're going to put in Tuesday, but it still got it. So we'll say Tuesday. Now what will happen is it's looking through my keywords to see if it can find. So it's looking to see if it can find Tuesday, and there is to, and I can go straight to that note. I can also view this in different ways. So again, and we've shown this before, but I can view it like this, and I can view it larger and actually see the keyword on the page. Anyway, a really cool function that I like a lot. I've been playing with it a little bit and just think it's kind of a cool thing to do. And all I got to say on that one for Rada is way to go. Way to go, Supernote team. Really cool, innovative function. Another thing real quick I want to show on the stickers before we leave them, because I thought about this just a second ago, is you can actually mix and match. So for example, I turned that into a keyword, but let's say that I want to make this smaller. And so I would go ahead and I would drag this down. It would be small. The writing may be a little hard to read at that point, but I want to move it up here, and I want to say that I want that to be a heading. So maybe that I take out that Tuesday inside, and instead I go ahead and I take a marker and I put Tuesday. But now what's really awesome about this tool is I can circle that whole thing, and now it includes both the icon and the text, and I can make that a heading. So I now make that the heading. Now you have not only the regular text headings that we're used to, but you have being able to differentiate within your notebook and create kind of a structured table of contents in a different way. But you could pick a specific sticker to be your top level sticker, and then so on and so on and so on throughout your notes, and you would be able to create that structure that you needed to be able to truly see an outline with your handwritten text that is then navigatable. So it's pretty cool. But okay, that's enough with stickers. Like I said, very impressed. Not an artist, but really love it. And we will look at the next thing. So the next thing we're going to look at is the new beta InkFlow app. And the InkFlow app is a very interesting app to me. So what it does, it turns your Supernote into a Wacom tablet. And why that's important is it already has that Wacom layer on it that helps it do what it does with the writing and the pressure sensitivity. But it doesn't have an interface with your PC other than through screen sharing. You can, obviously export things and then pull them into Photoshop or pull them into Illustrator or whatever program you want to use. What this does is it's almost a throwback in some ways. Basically, you couldn't see what you were writing in real time on the tablet itself. You could only see it on the screen. So it took some getting used to as far as how you would, write or draw, because you couldn't see where your strokes 100% were once you lifted the pen with that, and you were kind of doing a little bit of guesswork. And I'll show you a couple of things here, but there is some prep you want to do, and I want to show that first. So I've already installed the InkFlow beta app, so I can't show you that part, but you just go to the Supernote App Store and you download that app. But what you have to do as well is you have to go into the settings, and you can use quick access or you can use up here. And when you go here, what you have to go to is security and privacy. And if you've been sideloading apps, you have to turn that off. Now that is not going to impact the apps you've already sideloaded, but it will keep you from being able to sideload more until you fix it. So what you have to do then is you have to turn that off. That's when you can open the InkFlow. So you'll see here, I will open it up. InkFlow is right here at the bottom. And when I open that up, what you're going to see is it's going to say it's disconnected. I'll go ahead, I'll pop off, I'll come back on, and I'll show you what it is once it's connected. But you do have to physically connect the device to your PC to be able to do this. So give me just a second and I will be right back. All right, so what we're going to do really quick here is show you the setup of this program. It's a fairly straightforward program, and I want to show you how that works, how the app works. So you get this blank canvas, and there's a little settings bar up here in the top. Now, I currently have it set at in landscape because I rotated the device. When you go into the settings, for some reason, it pulls it up back in normal mode. You can alter the pen touch area. So if what you want to do is say make this smaller and you want to work on a very fine, small canvas, you can do that. You can shrink it. But the other thing that's helpful, and this probably won't show on screen or on camera, is you can turn on this grid. So you can turn on a dot grid to help you with your keeping track of where you are within the tablet, because again, nothing is going to show on the screen. And I think that's really important. And the reason I put it in landscape is because I want to make sure that I get like the full representation of my screen. Of course, if you had your screen in portrait, you wouldn't need to worry about that. I'm going to look at a couple of different things and I'll show that to you. I'll flip over here in a second to my monitor, but I wanted to show you the setup. And I think you can lightly see that dotted line running across here, that grid. And again, that just helps you understand where your cursor, where your pen input is going to be. This is something that I know a lot of people have used. Now, I've reshot this particular component because the first time I went into Adobe Illustrator, and that doesn't make sense. It's not something I generally use. But in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to pop back over and we're going to look at how I would use it to maybe mark up some different documents. So here we go. All right, so here are a couple of things. One is the blog I did when the Manta first came out, and this is my final Word document that then went into my blog. And then on the left, you see my thumbnail I created for my conversation with Matt Gimmel. And what's cool about this, and I think this is probably going to work, I didn't test it beforehand, so we'll see. As I get close to my screen, you're going to see the cursor. I don't know if you all see that. Look over on the left. Cursor is going to show me where my pen tool is. Now, what's nice about this is you could edit multiple documents. So say I'm working on a script and the thumbnail and maybe even something else, maybe the description. So I've got the script, I've got the description, I've got the thumbnail. I have that all up. Now, right now, I'm going to go up here near the top because I've got the wrong tool for what I need. So I'm going to drag up here. And again, you got to really get used to this a little bit. And right now I'm on the eraser. So I need to be on a pen. So there you go. You saw I selected the pen. So now let's say that I'm over here on the Word document and, well, too high. There we go. And I want to mark out this line. I can just draw that right across. It's a little bit easier for me to see now. I was looking at my OBS recording screen. Everything was much smaller. But say I wanted to just mark out this page. It's not something I want to do. Now I'm in the ink tool within Microsoft, so this is going to show. Now I can go back up and I can select the eraser and I can get rid of all of that. Really easy. Say I want to highlight. Now I can go ahead and I can highlight right here within Word. Works really well, actually. It's just getting used to, and that muscle memory you'd probably have to develop over time to be able to know that where you are on the document. But now I'm still in this tool, and maybe we go over here, and I just want to draw a circle around this because, well, I'm sorry. I forgot I am in two different programs. So go over here, we'll erase that. Go up here, change the pen, and you can see how much faster I'm getting at this just while I'm working on it. Circle this. Maybe I didn't like that title, and I want to change that. So I can pop over, and I can go here, and I can make myself a note. That is a really cool functionality. Now, I know there's a lot of different uses for this kind of stuff, but for me, it's pretty neat. And if you go over here, so let's say I want to select. So now, say I want to move my picture or I want to resize it. There you go. You have to get right on it. But once you do, now I can resize that picture. I want to go ahead and resize Matt's, pull it down, get it in line. I want to move this one up and over a little bit. Now, obviously, I wouldn't do that. It looks kind of silly, but it just shows you how much you can do with these different features of this app, because What Supernote's trying to do here, I think, is give you maximum flexibility to be able to do different things with this tool. And I was taking this as kind of the illustrator artist route, but there's a lot that you can do based on just simple note taking or markup. I could want to annotate this document using ink and say, revisit. Now, again, there's that learning curve, but the accuracy is amazing. All of this being ugly as far as the writing and everything that's going on here is not the fault of the device. It's my fault for not knowing exactly where I am on the page. But remember, this is one of the first times I've ever used this, and how much you will change and get better is just really dependent on how much you use it. It is kind of app dependent, and I'm still in the selection tool here. But if I go to my lasso, see if I can get this to work. There we go. So you get to your lasso, and now I can move that up and around. You just have to get used to how the tools work. But pretty neat. Anyway, just wanted to show that to you really quickly as far as this part, because there's not a lot until I really dig into the tool. And quite frankly, there's not a lot to it. It's going to be heavily dependent on the program you're using. If you're using Photoshop or Illustrator or all of the different things that you may see Brad Colbo or Kit Betts-Masters or Vlad Kostek use, or even Roderick over at Rants About Tech, they're going to use this maybe for 3D modeling or for artistry or for digital art or comic books. I don't know. But it's definitely got a lot of varying uses. With that said, let's go ahead and jump back over and close out with some final reflections. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging in there. This was a little bit of an unconventional video for me. It was kind of off the cuff and kind of just throwing some information out there that I think is important, and I think that people were wanting to hear about. And this is something that just came out. There was a lot of cry in the community to fix the underlying issues. But also, I think it shows the fact that Supernote didn't just want to release a bug fix. It wanted to release some updates as well for the people who wanted that. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, though. What do you think about this? Is this enough? Is this new functionality really cool? Is it something you'll use? Is it something you can see other people using? Does it kind of take them a little out of their comfort zone? I mean, they are for those who write, and there's no doubt that this InkFlow is a drawing forward tool, and that Atelier is a drawing forward tool. So are they moving into more than just writing, but maybe that creative space in general? And they're starting to think about different ways of doing that. The stickers, 100% definitely for those who bullet journal, for those who write, for those who are organizing, doing different things. That is well within their wheelhouse, and I think an extremely good implementation of that for a first go. A really great library to start with. I can't wait to see what someone like Pixel Leaves does with it, or someone like, my good friend Vladimir Kostek, what he does with this, or Kit with some of, you can create now all of your own stickers. You can custom create all of that. It's much easier to pull into your workflow. It's easier to categorize. And then you get all of those linking and really cool functions. But again, thank you. Thank you for your support of the channel. Check out my membership here. Check out membership over on Patreon. You'll see my members on both sites going up, scrolling on the screen right now. If you have any questions, we do a lot of fun stuff in both of those places. I look forward to seeing you soon. And until next time, keep moving forward. Talk to you soon.